Good Sunday evening to you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to J Jones Live Sunday night. We are live around the world. It is to say it's been a weird weekend is whew, is not doing it justice, honestly. Um, Normally I come on here and tell you, hey, how's it going? Good show, great night, gonna be an awesome night, best night ever, right? Well, we can't really start off with that. Um, we have a bit of breaking news throughout the night. I have been updated about it all day long. Um, Couple of stories right here in the state of Texas. One too close to home, if I do say so myself. Another one that we're keeping an eye on. It's it's been a hell of a weekend. Before I get to that, let me see how the Ags did. I love watch the game, honestly. Not even gonna fucking lie to you about that one. I was not watching the game, and I don't know how they went. Oh, A&M won 20-3. Okay, cool. A&M won against Auburn 20-3. Next week, they take on. Next week they take on Ole Miss. They'll be at Ole Miss on the 13th, this coming Saturday, 6 p.m. on ESPN. Next Saturday, they will take on Prairie View here in town at 11 a.m. And then Saturday after Thanksgiving, they will take on um, LSU at LSU. Time is to be determined. So yeah, but their next match is going to be against Ole Miss, 6 p.m. on ESPN this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday and a Saturday or this coming and next Saturday, there will not be an episode of J Jones Live Saturday night. I will actually be watching AEW Full Gear this coming Saturday, and I have a private engagement. We'll call it that. Next Saturday, I can't tell you what it is on the air. Just just know that will be just fine. Um, we'll probably have a Thanksgiving special or something. Something to help you out in 2 weeks. Um, yeah. So that's the fun part. Now I have to get into the serious part. Let me see what we know as of late. So we're gonna get right into the story that has happened locally here at Bryan College Station. Um, I personally did not want to cover this, you know, given what history I have with the establishment, but if I don't do that, it's like I'm just covering it up, honestly. Um, I don't think I am, but some people might say, "Oh well, yeah, you have vested interest in it, don't you?" No, I don't. Here's the thing. Let me tell you what we have, what we know from kbtx.com. Um, According to KBTX, College Station police confirmed one person was shot early Sunday morning in the parking lot of a shopping center in the corner of Texas Avenue. Dominic. Police say that there was an exchange of gunfire in the parking lot that happened around 1 a.m. outside a pool hall and bar. One person was hit by gunfire and rushed to the hospital by a private vehicle with non-life threatening injuries. Police said one of the windows of the pool hall was damaged, but nobody was injured. This is the College Station thread, the CSPD thread. Quote, shortly after 1 a.m. today, officers responded to the parking lot of Poets Billiards and Bar on Texas Avenue for reports of gunfire. Because daylight savings time ended today, there were two 1 a.m. hours. This response occurred shortly after the second 1 a.m. hour. One person has sustained an apparent gunshot wound and was taken by private vehicle to a local hospital before officers arrived. The patient is receiving treatment for non-life threatening injuries. No other patients were relocated. Detectives and crime scene responded to assist. At this time, investigators have learned that an exchange of gunfire occurred in the parking lot. This is not to believe this is not believed to be a random incident. If anyone has information about what has happened, please call 979-764-3600. Um, I have been listening. I have. I'll tell you what I know. Um, outside of what CSPD has said, outside of what KBTX has released. Um, I have, and I will show you. I've checked Poet's Facebook and Twitter pages, and I've yet to see a statement from them at all. So let me show you Poets on Twitter while we're here. So as you can see, no response, nothing in terms of what happened on Poets has not tweeted since looks like September 9th was the last time they tweeted, or actually that was Four Downs. They retweeted Four Downs on September 9th. They actually tweeted on September 4th, so they haven't tweeted anything in months, or at least a month and a half or so. Um, if you go over to their Facebook page, facebook.com/poets, I believe it's 1637. Here we go. So, just to look, literally the only thing that was tweeted, this was tweeted yesterday, or sorry, this was tweeted Friday night. I was there Friday night. Yeah, it's fun. Um, so this was their tweet as of 7 hours ago, 1:25 p.m. This was the only thing that I have gotten from Poets. I checked their Instagram, same thing as their Twitter, honestly. Um, I have not heard a lick. Um, I don't know if it's just because they don't want to talk about it or because it just didn't happen inside the bar. Personally, I don't know. I don't know. I have talked with staff. They were, from what I've been told, they have been scared shitless. I won't name names because I want to keep their names anonymous. And, you know, small as my public forum is public enough. Um, so here's the thing, and I'm just gonna be truthful to you. And this is not a dig on poets. This is not a an insult to anyone working at the bar. It's not their fault, but I honestly the atmosphere in my eyes has drastically changed at poets. Um, I'll be very fair and honest with you for those watching, and if a poets employee sees this, sorry I have to break the news this way, but it has to be broken. Um, see, the Pixel guys had a sponsorship with them. Um, and honestly, we were going to do this months ago, but the guys and I talked. We 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 just evaluated that, you know, we're going to move on and find a new sponsor. Poets and Four Downs were our sponsors on the Pixel guys. I I along with Sean and Cody have decided that we're going to move away from that. This is not. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Okay, good. Sorry, when I don't have anything playing, the microphone goes dead. So we'll have something faint in the background. Okay, so here's the thing. Um, I I I, I I'm not doing this because I hate poets personally. I'm not doing this because of anything I personally feel. This is all just business, honestly. Um, that said, I really wish poets had came out with some semblance of recognition that this shit happened. Um, I mean, I have been getting first and second hand accounts of what's happened. People have been talking to me all throughout the day, wondering what the hell is going on. I don't know. I really don't know. I can only know what people have told me. Um, here's the thing, like for that the fact that we have there is no word from poets at all about what happened last night is it's not good. It just isn't. Um, I was expecting some semblance of a statement from them, personally, but I don't know what to tell y'all. I wish I did. Um, this is here's the thing. This is going to end up as a big problem on their end, and I have to say what a lot of people have been telling me, and what I've noticed just from my personal experience. Um, the atmosphere at the bar has changed. I can tell you that, and Poets knows exactly why. Um, I the reason that I still go there is because I've built so much of my personal life in that bar. And I know a lot of people are just like, well, fuck it, I'll just go to a different bar, right? Um, when I hang out at a place, that makes me feel like I fit in, right? When I hang out with Cephas, I fit in. When I when I hang out with Kristen and wherever she goes, I fit in because it's me. Because people don't look at me as an intimidating guy, or they don't look at me as the weirdo that sits in the corner and rocks back and forth and shakes his leg and looks like, you know, whatever you want to think in your head. Um, so, you know, personally, unless Poets, I guess, sees this and says you're never welcome to this bar ever again, I'll still go when there isn't anything else going on, but like it's hard to break a pattern. Let's be honest. Um and to the owner, you know who I am. You know I'm talking to you directly. A semblance of a statement would have been something, man. Like I can't with good conscience believe that there is nothing nothing um nothing on the page, nothing on Twitter, nothing on Facebook, nothing on your own website. Like I why? I know so many people who go to Poets, and to see that this occurred, and honestly, this isn't the first time this has happened. First time in a long time, but this isn't the first time this has happened. And why? Like, I want to know what is going on here. So I hope things get personally, I don't want to see Poets, completely be destroyed or anything like that. That's a lot of jobs on the line, right? But The service and the quality of when I originally went there needs to come back. Um, and I'm not expecting the moon, but come on, guys, come on, we can do better than this. Um, we can do better than this. So anyway, that's where I'm gonna leave that. And take my words any way you want to, but take it in a full context. Watch the whole clip, please. Um, because I don't want to have to see reports like this again. Those bartenders, the managers, everyone there, I care about them. And to see news like this happen, it's not. It's sad, man. It's sad. I don't want to see any more stories like this. That makes me worry for the bartenders and the staff and the people who go there frequently. The barflies that come there and they come there and they see stuff like this, and what do you do? Um, what what do they do? I know that I know that a lot of you may or may not like who I am or what I've just said in the past 10 minutes, but understand, coming from my perspective, like, it's kind of sucky that we have news like this. And it shouldn't be like that. Um, there is, I have, and to prove to you what I know, I have video evidence of things like this happening before last night. Hell, I was there the night before and I had video of it. The only reason I haven't shared is because I don't want to slam Poet's name in the water, right? I don't want to slam it in the ground because I think they suck. It's not the staff, I think. I think that there needs to be a drastic 180. Like, I don't go to the Northgate bars. I only go to downtown Bryan when I'm with Kristen. And, I could go to like the Fox and the Hound or the Tap or whatever, but I don't want to. Come on, poets. Let's do better here. Just saying. All right. Enough of that. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack tomorrow, but, I expect it. So let's talk about another thing that's happened here in Texas. Not too far away, but down in Houston. All right. This is from the AP. The crowd at the Houston Music Festival suddenly surged towards the stage during a performance by rapper Travis Scott, squeezing fans so tightly together that they could not breathe or move their arms, killing 8 people in the chaos. The pandemonium unfolded Friday evening at Astroworld, a sold-out 2-day event at NRG Park with an estimated 50,000 people in attendance. As the timer clicked down to the start of the performance, the crowd pushed forward. As soon as he jumped on the stage, it was like, quote, as soon as he jumped onto the stage, it was like energy took over and everything went haywire. Concert goer Nyara Good said, quote, as all of a sudden your ribs are being crushed, you have someone's arm in your neck, you're trying to breathe, but you can't, end quote. Good says she was so desperate to get out, she bit a man on his shoulder to get him to move. The dead ranged from ages 14 to 27, and 13 people were still hospitalized as of Saturday, Mayor Sylvester Turner said. He called the disaster, quote, a tragedy on many different levels, end quote, and said it was too early to draw conclusions about what went wrong. Quote, it may be it may well be that this tragedy is the result of unpredictable events, of circumstances coming together that they couldn't possibly have avoided, end quote, said Judge Lena Hidalgo, Harris County's top elected official. Quote, but it but until we determine that, I will ask the tough questions, end quote. Experts who've studied the deaths caused by the crowd surges say that they are often a result of density, too many people packed into a small space. The crowd is often running either away from a perceived threat or towards something they want, such as a performer before hitting a barrier. G. Keith Still, a visiting professor of crowd science at the United Kingdom's University of Suffolk, has testified as an expert witness in court cases involving crowds. He said he usually does not look at eyewitness reports in early stages of analyzing an incident because emotions can cloud the picture. Then witnesses can only see what's immediately around them. Based on fire codes, the venue could have held 200,000 people, but city officials limited the attendance to 50,000. Houston Fire Chief Samuel Pena said, quote, uh, it was the crowd control at the point of the stage that was the issue, especially as the crowd began to surge toward the stage, Pena said. The deaths call to mind a 1979 concert by The Who where 11 people died as thousands of fans tried to get into the Cincinnati's Riverfront Coliseum. Other past crowd catastrophes include the deaths of 97 people in an overcrowded Hillsborough Stadium in 1989 in Sheffield, England, and numerous disasters connected to the annual Hajj in Saudi Arabia. People in the Houston crowd reported lots of pushing and shoving during the performance leading up to Scott's set. When Scott took the stage, the crowd seemed to rush to the front, trying to get closer to the stage, said Nick Johnson, a high school senior from Houston suburb of Frenchburg who was at the concert. Quote, everyone was passing out around you, and everyone was trying to help each other. But you just couldn't move. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't even pick your arms up, quote, Johnson said. Quote, it just got worse and worse, end quote. Johnson said fans started to crush each other and people started screaming. He said it felt like 100 degrees in the crowd. Scott seemed to be aware that something was going on in the crowd, but he might not have understood the severity of the situation, Johnson said. Where did I lose track? On video posted to social media, Scott said that Scott could be seen stopping the concert at one point, asking for aid for someone in the audience. Security, somebody help real quick. In a tweet posted Saturday, Scott said he was absolutely devastated by what took place last night. He pledged to work, quote, together with the Houston community to heal and support the families in need. Amy Harris, a freelance reporter for AP, described an aggressive crowd atmosphere throughout the day because of the way the fans were behaving, pushing and rushing to the stage barricades and prohibited VIP admission access. And the thing is, this is crazy. So I actually want to switch over to Reddit. Because where else but Reddit am I going to get some of the latest information? And it comes from r slash. Um, I'm going to actually skip over to some of the footage that we could get. Um, so let's see what this is.
I ain't cool with none of you faggots who just sitting here looking like a bunch of queers.
Wow.
You wearing a fucking LaFlame shirt, motherfucker, then you better act like it, bitch. I'm gonna rip it off your fucking back.
Wow. Okay.
You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and
Get that motherfucker, get him!
I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience.
I know, we're trying!
And anytime I can make out, you know, anything that's going on, I stop the show and help them get the help they need,
They're gonna catch you, don't be scared! Don't be scared!
I mean, I'm honestly just devastated and
Fuck him up! Fuck him up! Fuck him up!
I could never imagine anything like this just happening.
Fuck him up! Fuck him up! Fuck him up!
I could just never imagine the severity of the situation.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
You know, everyone.
That part wasn't Houston, by the way.
Help us figure this out. So if you have any information,
Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on.
Fuck his ass up!
Wow. Okay. Was not expecting that. Let's see. There's been a lot of concert problems. Let me see. I want to see if I can find any more.
Line got closed down since we threw the rails, then cop tried to tase us. I started mosh pits. We tried to help our crowd surf. Somehow I got to the rail. Had to help save lives. More mosh pits.
I don't know why people take
Baby.
cell phone footage here.
Prep for Travis. Stormy. I was too safe, so I tried to crowd surf towards middle. Drake. Too sexy.
wow. Let's hear this.
Um, so Madeline, can you start by telling me your first and last name, please?
Madeline Eskins.
Can you spell it for me just to make sure we have the correct spelling?
Madeline Eskins.
So tell me about your experience at the concert tonight. Starting just before this happened.
We got there a little bit later, probably around like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and we got one drink each. He got a beer. My boyfriend got a beer. I got some mixed drink they were selling, and we weren't really interested in anybody that was performing at the smaller stage. So I said, let's go get a good spot for Travis Scott. This is the third time I've been at Astroworld Festival. I was there for the first year in 2018. I went in 2019. He did not have one in 2020. So I went. So we went and tried to find a good spot at the stage, like I do every year. It was fine at first. People were sitting down trying to hold their spots in line. It was still daylight, but that was like 6:15, 6:30. As it got closer to 8:30, 8 o'clock, people started, crowding. Got kind of tight, got kind of packed. 8:15, more crowded, more tight, more packed. We couldn't really move around a lot.
Oof.
We were a little bit.
If it was by that point that you know, if it had gotten to that point, to where it's gotten that crowded, I would have thought someone would have, gotten out there and said, we need to disperse these crowds. But,
Bit towards the front.
what can you do?
We were about 4 feet away from the fence to the right. There was an alleyway in between the left and right side of general admission for the photographers and for people to walk that were, I guess, celebrities and stuff, and for security. We were about 4 feet away from that fence. So at 8:30, he started a countdown on the main screen, like a timer, till he performed what it was for. And when he started the timer, people started pushing. They'd push forward, and then other people would push back and forward and back. As the timer got closer to 0, it got really, really bad. I couldn't even turn my head to tell my boyfriend anything. I mean, we were packed in there, so I had people shoving me from behind, shoving me from the front on both sides. It's getting really hard to breathe. I was trying to jump up and lift my head up so I could get air. And whenever he started performing, I looked at my boyfriend. I tried to look at my boyfriend. I only got about this far. And I told him, I said, we have to get out. We have to get out. And he said, we can't. Because we couldn't move. We could not. You couldn't go forward, backwards, to the side. You couldn't do anything. The only way to go was up. I remember I was about to tell my boyfriend to tell my son that I loved him, because as it went on, it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to die. I really, truly thought that I was going to get crushed to the point where my trachea was going to get crushed, my chest. I thought I was going to die. So I fainted. I think it was, I don't even remember what song was playing. I don't remember anything. I just know that he had just started, and I fainted. And per my boyfriend and a gentleman that reached out to me on Instagram and said he helped my boyfriend, they basically crowd surfed my unconscious body 4 feet to the right to a security guard, because after trying to get from my boyfriend, he said that he tried to get your attention and you just couldn't, because they were carrying so many people over, that finally him and a just good Samaritan that happened to be there lifted me up, and they just crowd surfed my unconscious body over to the security guard. I came to for a little bit, and I was sitting, and the fence was behind me, the crowd, and I was in that little walkway area, and I looked up, and I passed out again. And then when I woke
Good
up
Lord.
again, I was in a different part. I was in the VIP area, and I woke up with a bottle of water in my lap. Essentially what had happened was the security guard dropped me off and sat down, and then went and ran back to get more people in and out. So once I sat there for a minute, I drank my water, looked around, there were people being carried back and forth. And then I stood up and I was about to go, look for my boyfriend. I had no phone service. I tried to call him. I couldn't call him. I look and they're carrying this guy out, and they're about to set him down. And I noticed he looked really bad. His eyes were rolled in the back of his head. He was completely limp. He did not look good. I asked the security guard, I said, have you checked the pulse on this man? He said, I don't know how to do that. He's like, please help. So I checked the pulse. I did not feel a pulse. His eyes were rolled in the back of his head. His pupils weren't reacting. I shined my flashlight.
Oh, wow.
I said, do not drop him off here to go get someone else. You need to go take this man to the medical tent. Take him somewhere. Go. I cleared the way. Another security guard overheard me say, because at first, before I told him that, let me rewind. I told him, I was like, I'm an ICU nurse. I've worked in the ED before. I have experience with this. Like, let me help. Instead of just trying to shove through me. The other security guard had overheard me tell the man that. Tell the security guard that. So he came to me. He said, hey, we need your help up here. So he took me to the front of I think I was in the VIP area. There were 2 towers beside me that people were standing on, and also where the light crew was on either side. And I walk up, and I mean, nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. Nothing. I mean, I work in the ICU. I see people die every week. When I was working in the ER, we get people coming to us that are, have CPRs in progress all the time. I saw 3 people laid out on the ground and maybe 4 medics doing CPR on 3 people. One of them was Blue, the guy that looked the worst. I ran over to the medic and I said, do you have an AED? Do you have an ambu bag? What do we have? How long have you been doing concussions? I just started asking her questions. She said, I don't know. I said, has anybody relieved you from concussions? She's like, no. There were other civilians trying to help do CPR that didn't know how. I mean, teenagers, 19 years old. I asked him how old he was. 19 years old trying to do CPR at 18. I mean, I'm only 23 myself, but still.
It's crazy, man.
So I take over compressions. As I'm doing compressions, I'm asking the medics around me. I said, where do we have an AED? Do we have an ambu bag, which is to give them breaths? I said, what do we have? Do we have an IV kit so I can put an IV? Do we have meds like epinephrine to give them? They were like, we have 1 AED machine. We have nothing. We have 1 AED and it's over there. And I look, there's a woman, as I'm doing questions, she's got pads on her, the shock pads is the best way to explain it. They found the ambu bag. They brought it to us. And so someone started giving him breaths as I was doing compressions. I told them the medic, I don't know what they were. I don't know if they were paramedics. I'm not sure what they were. Some of them seemed to have some experience. Some of them seemed to have little to none experience with this situation. I looked at him. I said, I need you to find a femoral pulse, because the man was very heavy. It was hard to get a carotid pulse. There's a lot of adipose tissue, fat tissue. I said, I need you to get a femoral pulse up by the groin. He said, I can get a radial pulse. I don't know where that is. I said, no, you need a femoral pulse or a carotid. And he's like, I don't know how to do that. So since he knew how to give compressions, I had him take over compressions, felt for a pulse. Whenever we did pulse checks, there was no pulse checks going on. It was madness. It was madness. They pulled someone over the rails. After I found some other nurses or medical staff that were in the crowd, they identified themselves as such, started jumping in to help with compressions so we could, relieve the medics that had been doing it for, I don't even know how long. I have no idea how long this people have been pulseless. They started bringing more bodies over. They started trying to do CPR on someone. I said, you have got to check a pulse before you do CPR. If they have a pulse, you don't do CPR. You'll break ribs and just make the situation worse. Checked a pulse on a guy that they started doing CPR. I said, no, he has a pulse, get him out of here. There was only one stretcher. These were big people. We weren't able to get people out. All we could do is just try and keep them awake, and I just keep them alive to the best of our abilities. We had someone else come over. I checked him, no pulse, started CPR on him. I mean, it was madness. And you still have people recording the concert, recording us doing CPR, recording the concert, dancing. And then meanwhile, you have others that are climbing up the tower to the staff that's in charge of the lighting and saying, stop this, shut it down. They're trying to shut the concert down. Nothing was being done. It was absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I am disturbed. Honestly, it should have been stopped. It should have been stopped.
How long did that whole process go on with you helping
Maybe
CPR?
45 minutes total with like everything going on, maybe an hour. I'm not entirely sure.
How are you feeling this morning, thinking back on everything? I mean, you mentioned you didn't think you were going to survive.
I'm just glad that if my boyfriend would not have gotten me out of there, I don't know what would have happened to me. I'm really glad that, really thankful that he got me out of there so I could go help others. I tried to find him at first before I got dragged into the CPR madness, but luckily I saw that he had called me, so I knew that he was at least alive and conscious, but I couldn't call him back. I didn't have any cell service, so I figured my resources would be more useful trying to help.
Now, you said were unconscious at some point, but your boyfriend, I'm assuming, saw what happened. Does he know how this all started? Was there a fight that broke out? I mean,
No, it was just everyone rushing the stage to see Travis perform. I've been to all 3 Astroworlds, and something like that usually happens whenever the performer goes on. People kind of go forward. But this was completely different. It was way too many people. It was packed before it even started. It was insane.
did you feel like there was enough security there for that crowd?
Not at all. There wasn't enough medical staff. There wasn't enough security. Even, security was trying to get to people. They couldn't get to anyone because the crowd was entirely too big. I mean, I couldn't move my arm. So there was no way another body was getting in there. They were trying, but they couldn't.
And there's reports of one of the victims being as young as 10 years old.
No, there's no place for a child.
How are you feeling about, the victims who have lost their lives at a concert?
I feel very angry. Travis acknowledged that something was happening in the crowd. He acknowledged that there was an ambulance. He acknowledged that someone was passed out, and then just continued the concert. I'm angry about that. I'm disappointed in how everything was handled. I'm disappointed that the medical staff that was there was not truly medical staff. They had little to no experience in this. Some of them had little to no experience in this type of situation. It's very unfair for them to be the ones that are, responsible for doing this. I mean, everyone looked to them to provide medical care when they had, not a lot of experience in this field. I'm upset that people are saying that this was all drug related. There's rumors that someone was running around with a needle injecting people with drugs. I never saw that. I'm not an expert in, toxicology. I have no idea how to tell if these people were truly overdosing in that given situation. But I will say that me, as someone who did not do any type of drugs, does not do any type of drugs, that I could have very easily been one of those people because I was getting suffocated. Suffocation can lead to cardiac arrest. And they were saying that these individuals were trampled. Because once you fell in that pit, that crowd, it was almost a death sentence. So, I mean, if you fell, you weren't getting up. So if these people got trampled at 100, could they have had drugs in their system? Probably. There's 50,000 people there to party. But do I think that this was primarily drug related? No. They're saying, oh, it's fentanyl. It's fentanyl-laced drugs. It just doesn't make sense to me if that was the case. Everyone started to die and pass out whenever Travis came on the stage. Did the drugs just kick in for everybody when Travis came on the stage?
And you mentioned that you've gone to his concerts before, and I've heard people talk about this wave where people are moving left to right. Has that ever happened at his previous concerts before he gets on stage?
Yeah, sometimes people are moving, going up and backwards, but it wasn't as compacted as it was yesterday. I mean, I had room to breathe at the other concerts. Yesterday, none. If my boyfriend let me hit the ground, he said he kept me from falling whenever I fainted. If he would let me hit the ground, I think that I would have been one of the people in the hospital or worse.
Wow. And before you go, you mentioned you're an RN. What hospital do you work at?
I work at HCA Kingwood.
Okay.
It's in North Houston.
Okay. Have you heard of any of the victims? Do you know any of their names?
No, I would like to know who they. Someone messaged me and said it was one of the victims was his best friend's older sister. I had someone reach out to me and say their daughter was one of the people that passed away. Someone reached out to me asking me if I knew the people I was doing CPR on because she hasn't heard from her daughter in 6-7 hours. And that was, in the middle of the night. I don't know how long it was truly, probably more than that now. I don't know any of those people. I really, hope that at least one person that I was hoping made it, just at least one. But it was one of the gentlemen he was blue. He had been pulseless for at least 15 minutes while I was there doing CPR on him. So I don't know how long he was pulseless before that.
That is so sad. To have that image in your head still this morning, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, like I said, I work in the hospital. I work, with people that go into cardiac arrest. I mean, this was more terrifying than anything I've ever seen. Anything I've ever seen, ever.
That is sad. Like that's incredibly sad.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families
So this is his
so
full
we can help
apology.
assist them through this tough time. My fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, help them get the help they need,
But you didn't.
I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely with everyone to just try to get to the bottom of this. The City of Houston, HPD, Fire Department, everyone to help us figure this out. So if you have any information, please just contact your local authorities. Everybody continue to just keep your prayers. I mean, I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening. And I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on. Love you all.
I don't know. I don't feel apparently Apple Music was there.
Just play it slowly. We need somebody to help him. Somebody passed out right here. Somebody passed out right here. Hold on, don't touch him, don't touch him. Everybody just back up. Security, somebody help jump in real quick. Keep going. Just keep it just right.
So this was aired on Apple Music.
Somebody jump in. Come on. Security, get in there. Let's get in there.
Like,
let's get in there. Let's get in there. Yeah.
and he keeps going. That's the big problem. Like, how do you keep going?
Standing in the ocean. Standing in the ocean. In that 90210, 90210, 90210, 90210, second verse, 90210, 90210, 90210, 90210. Jesus don't really know.
And he keeps going. Like, at this point, you need to fucking stop. Just stop. Tell them, hey, get me down. Stop the show. Just stop. Why do you keep going? Like,
The narrative was that some individual was injecting other people with drugs. We do have a report of a security officer, according to the medical staff that was out and treated him last night, that he was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan. He was revived, and the medical staff did notice a prick that was similar to a prick that you would get if somebody's trying to inject. That is one part of it. The other thing that's very important, there were some individuals that were trampled, and we want to be respectful of that. But we just ask that y'all give us time to do a proper investigation. Live Nation has stated from the very beginning that they were.
and then you had to add a word. Why? Why are you standing on top of an ambulance? That makes no sense to me. That kid should not have been there. Whoever brought that kid there should not have had that kid there. That right there is just irresponsible parenting.
If that's okay with you, real quick. Chase me, let's do it. Lost on Irish giving and bow cards. Just bring your girl, feel like she both bars. Some black nigga run to the ocean. So why we here, trapped on the ocean? Just one day away from going illegal. Just one angel away from running out the devil. Just one my
Like, this is the problem here. Over and over. I mean, it's overwhelming evidence here. So here's another angle of that girl that's like, hey, someone needs to stop the show.
If that's okay with you, real quick. Chase me, let's do it. Lost on Irish giving and bow cards. Just bring your girl, feel like she both bars. Some black nigga run to the ocean. So why we here, trapped on the ocean? Just one day away from going illegal. Just one angel away from running out the devil. Just one my window away from
Like,
No, we're in there, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Like, you look at this footage. Like, there's just overwhelming evidence. Okay, here's the thing. Here before I keep watching and reacting, like, this is unacceptable. What I've just witnessed, um you know, what we just witnessed here is unacceptable. Uh, 8 people are dead, hundreds are injured. Like, this was an absolute failure on the event staff, on the people running the show, on everyone that didn't help. Like, this also goes on Travis Scott's brain here. And I'm not trying to say that he's a horrible human being, but shit, man, when you see that there is something wrong going on out there in the crowd, stop your show. Just stop it. I don't give a shit if it's on Apple Music. I don't care if it's broadcasted to YouTube. I don't care who it's being shown to. If there's something going on, those guys can find other content to put on in order to, break away from the crowd. But, like, Travis should have stopped. Just stopped. The show should have completely stopped. Like, yeah, people would have been angry, but there are people losing their lives. There are people unconscious. We just heard an unedited interview where there was uh, uh, a licensed paramedic that was out there that watched as other probably not very well trained paramedics, try to save lives, and it's sad. And here's the thing about it: there might be more people that might pass away because of this incident, and Travis didn't stop the show. No one in security stopped the show. No one with the crew of Travis stopped the show. No one anywhere within this stopped the show so that they could tend to the people that were getting injured, that were getting killed. Like, no one did that. Houston police could only do so much of its job. Houston Fire Department did as much as they could. It did not look like it was properly staffed. This event went down as a horrible, horrible day. And the fact that Travis feels any sort of sorrow when he could have been the first to stop the concert to begin with, so that emergency officials could tend to those that were injured or close to death, and it's insane. Why are there people jumping on EMS, vans or whatever, EMS cars and whatever? Where's security? You know, I know HPD was there, but where the fuck is security? Where the fuck is all the people that were supposed to be working this event? What the fuck is going on? You have people that are injured that might die. And the fact that no one was there to take care of that there are a few people out there doing what they could do, that they didn't have enough backup. This is like Over the Edge 99 all over again. The only difference is that 8 people are dead, not a wrestler who fell to his death. Like, this is this is this is tantamount to some of the stupidest shit that should never happened, but it did, and it cost lives. Quite frankly, it should have started from the top. Travis Scott was the guy that those kids were out there to see. That he should have stopped the show as soon as he started to see people were getting injured, people were fading. As soon as he saw someone fading, you should have stopped right then and there. What do? You keep going. And I'm pretty sure he went on for several songs. People were getting trampled still. This is this is absolutely disgusting. This is a disgusting play on how events should never be organized. Like this is horrible. Like if you don't end up with tons of lawsuits by the end of the year, I will be surprised. Fucking shame on you, Travis Scott. Look at this. It's like it's like January 6th, but with like younger kids in a music venue instead of trying to take over the government. Look at this. Look at this. I'm sure there were injuries during the day. Organizers at Astro World, what the fuck is happening here? This is sad. This is absolutely sad. Like, wow. Just wow. The security was bad the entire day. Like, did they not hire enough security? Like, what the fuck? Like, I have video evidence of how bad this was. This is a shame. Like, shame on Travis Scott. Shame on the people who organized this event. Shame on the people who did not have enough staff to control this crowd coming in. Like, shame on all of them. Like, good lord. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Disgusting, man. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. All right. We're gonna play some League of Legends so I can calm down. Like, this is disgusting. Like, come on, guys. This what are they even writing?
watching. Stay focused.
Come out.
Minions have spawned. First blood. A+ accuracy. An enemy has been slain. Follow the diagram. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Another test aced.
That was easy.
Enemy triple kill. Enemy quadra kill. Triple kill. Aced.
Their bodies are frail.
My weapon transforms.
We took Freljord. We took
wasn't truly ours, so long as we served the Watchers.
Hop, skip, jump.
Cut off their heads!
An enemy has been slain.
Throw them into the abyss!
I guess this is all dealing with the Arcane Netflix series they have.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Shut down.
Let's end this.
Enemy has been slain.
Study harder next time.
Killing spree. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
That'll leave a mark. If we run.
Ally has been slain. Shut down. You have been slain.
Don't judgify. Spud. You heads up.
Rampage. Shut down.
That old man across the bridge is a damned fool.
Shut down.
Pot seems nice, though.
An ally has been slain.
Are we there yet?
Let me know if you see any, lady ghosts out there.
An ally has been slain. slain.
I am Rhaegar, the eternal guardian of the Howling Abyss. Avarosa herself killed me. It was a great honor. She bound my spirit here, so I can sound the horn if the Watchers return.
Come out, wherever you...
Once you've killed them, bring me back a ghost.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret. Reveal. Enemy double kill.
Damn. I mean, just came after my ass.
Enemy killing spree. An enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill. Aced.
Bring down the hammer.
Another transformation.
I should have asked Avarosa to kill my boar and bind her spirit here. I miss you, Borhilda. If you aren't winning, try a bigger sword. Usually works.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Got one.
You have been slain.
Ow.
An enemy has been slain.
Gotcha.
An ally has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
I reckon the whole world must be ruled by the Iceborne now, right?
An enemy is unstoppable.
The blood price has been paid.
Shut down.
Have you seen my bed tippers?
Enemy killing spree. Your turret has been
Mocked
destroyed.
by the void. Great time!
Damn, son.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Avarosa united us. She showed us that freedom was worth dying for. So, we turned on the Watchers. We knew we were stronger than they were. They had given us too much power. It's an ancient artifact, but it's still good.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Good. A kill. Not perfect. My plan is unbeatable.
An ally has been slain.
There's a reason I'm on top of my class.
Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill.
An Iceborne never truly dies. Except, well, there are some exceptions.
Inhibitor has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Triple kill. Aced.
Bring down the hammer.
Has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Victory!
Victory!
All right, I'm gonna get some rest. It's gonna probably be yet another long week. I will see y'all later. Good night.